Waking up this morning and it's already 75 degrees in the van and it's supposed to get up into the 90s. Yep, it looks like it's time for us to move on from Phoenix for a little bit. I guess this is as good a time as any to say hello, adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, the temperatures in the van are already in the 70s, and it's pretty early in the day still. So that means it's only going to go up from there. So instead of sitting around here in the Phoenix area, I'm going to go north for a couple of days. I think that'll be a good way for me to keep a little bit cooler, because if this breeze that we're having right now goes away, it's quite warm, and I would rather explore a little bit and feel a little bit less discomfort. So today we're going to Prescott. Now, in order to do that, I need to move a few things around. I have my shoes that I was wearing yesterday, which I wear when I'm out and about doing things because they're a little nicer. And so I need to put them under the seat. I need to take these and put them on my feet, and then I'll put my slides away and we'll be ready to go. You know, we got to go through that checklist of making sure everything's in its place, because that's what keeps us from having things going all over the place in the van. I've already checked the roof box, I've checked my doors, I'm taking down my window things, and then it's just the shoes, and I think everything is good. I went ahead and made my bed. I even put my camera away. I am doing good today, but I definitely want to get on the road, and I still need to go and dump my trash, get a little bit of fuel, and possibly get a couple of small things, like a couple of red boxes, because there is no service in the Prescott area from what I've been told, and so that means I'm not going to be able to stream anything at all. And so I would rather have something than not have something, just in case I need some entertainment this evening. So let's go do a few things and get on the road. Now let me say, it's not as bad as it could be, but it is going to be getting worse. So I'm taking these little moments of reprieve to just enjoy the different scenery around, and I'm getting closer to the time that I go back to Texas. I have been here in Arizona, or in the region of Arizona, since January. I came here right after New Year, and typically by this point in the year I've already long since moved on. Normally March is about as late as I stay, but I'm making it all the way through the month of April before I go back to Texas. And it's because of the weather and how much nicer it's been. I think it's interesting to see how the weather has changed this year specifically, and just how many places it's affected. For example, today when I was looking for cool places to go, I was looking at like Sedona, because I really want to go to Sedona. And as I was looking in Sedona, I noticed that all the forest roads between Flagstaff and Sedona are closed. And it's because they had over 360 inches of snow this year in that northern part. And then also they had super crazy rains. So between the two, a lot of those forest roads are just not available. Now, there's a variety of different places that you can find information like this, and I definitely encourage you to check different resources, but the Forest Service has listings of places that are open and not open, and also there's a few apps that you can check road conditions. Definitely encourage you guys to download a few of those. Super handy. But with that said, we have planned something that is going to be in a good place. Supposedly there's nothing crazy going on. They haven't had any forest fires. They haven't had any extremes. And so we should be good, and it'll give us a little departure from the heat here in Phoenix for a couple days. So with that said, let's go to the store, get some gas, dump our trash, find a red box, and hit the road. Okay, super fun story. I went ahead and picked up some food for the road today because I don't want to stop off at a fast food restaurant. I also went ahead and got a couple things for the road for overnight, some juices and stuff to put in my fridge. I went to go get a red box, and the red box is malfunctioning, so I can't do that. So I might have to stop off at a red box at a different spot. I don't know where the next one will be, but surely there will be one in Prescott somewhere. So I'm going to tackle that. But now it's time for me to go dump my trash, get some gas, because I'm down to like 2 bars, and I don't like to go anywhere unless I have a full tank. And then we'll hit the road. This is gonna be a good day. We're gonna make this into a good day. I just spent like 20 minutes at the red box thinking it was me, but in fact it was the red box. So with that said, you know, some days it's just like that. Okay, we picked up our gas, and as you can see, gas in Arizona is pretty expensive right now. In fact, it is some of the highest in the country. I've been watching the news here and there, and I noticed that a lot of people were making comments about how expensive gas is in this area, and they're crediting it to be the summer blend is rolling out, so there's not as much fuel, but also there's not as many truckers on the road right now delivering fuel, supposedly. I don't know how much I necessarily believe that. I think that in some of the states they tend to gouge a little bit, and I think in the Phoenix area specifically that's kind of what's happening, because when we were just in Tucson, just a short distance up the road, gas was almost $1 less. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but these are things that you notice on the road. So now I'm going to go ahead and scan this guy into Fetch so I can get my points, because all the points go back to getting other things down the way. But with that said, we're ready to go. Now, one more thing I wanted to address before we hit the road. A lot of you guys, whenever you've seen me do these daily trash stops, you've asked, why don't you recycle? And in areas that I can, I do. But in this particular area of Phoenix, I have seen no recycling trash receptacles anywhere. And that's pretty sad, because in some areas they do really well where they have things marked. Like, for example, at that Walmart that we went to the other day that I did the video about putting away your things, they had regular trash cans, and then up at the front they actually had recycling trash cans. I did not know that, but afterwards I was able to take things there. However, that's a little bit further away from where I am now, and here there are none. So along the way, some places are doing better, some aren't, so you kind of have to really seek it out, and a lot of times if you're just on the road, it's harder. So I think that making trash receptacles and recycling receptacles more readily available could be really handy. Just, you know, food for thought in the future. I'm gonna get to scanning. We're hitting the road. Also, I went ahead and put my little sandwiches together so I could have sauce on them, and then I'm going to just close this back up so whenever I'm ready to eat, I'll be able to grab and literally go like it says, as opposed to having to grab, stop, put the sauce on, and then go. I will say this, the price tag of these little sliders definitely surprised me. The food prices are definitely going up more rapidly, and you start seeing it reflected when you get into stuff like this. Now, this is special bread. This is made here in the Phoenix area, and so I knew it was going to be a little bit more costly, but it's so good that I wanted to just like give myself a treat since I'm not going to stop off anywhere else. But then I started to notice that all of the deli things, the price had risen since even like 2 weeks ago whenever I was looking in the deli last. So I told you guys on a live recently that the prices were about to go up. I just didn't think we'd be seeing that just yet, but apparently we are. So as you're traveling this summer, be prepared. Food prices going way up. But now we can go. Okay, we're slowing down to what looks like almost a stop on the highway. Not sure why. This is also part of it sometimes. Our added time because of this stop is about 20 minutes. So whatever it is, I'm assuming is like an accident or something. But we shall see as we get closer, I guess. I mean, there was a construction sign, so is this construction related? I still don't know. I have no idea. I just know that we all slowed down to a stop and now we're going again. Oh, sometimes the road work just never makes sense. And sometimes the traffic in general just doesn't make sense. And see, now we're stopping again. So there has to be something going on up here. You know, while I've been in Phoenix, I have seen a car catch on fire. I have seen an accident where people physically were getting out and like trying to fist fight, which made zero sense. I saw another car that looked as though it had just been abandoned in the highway. In the Phoenix area, of course, I got rear-ended. That's pretty commonplace here. Apparently that happens a lot. And Brock was telling me about some of the weird road rage incidents that people have in this area also. Now, I know every single place that you go to, people are like, oh, it's the worst traffic ever. Or, oh, they're the worst drivers. And I've been to a lot of places, and I will still say Phoenix is not the worst. It is definitely not the worst. But they do have a very specific set of issues.
Speed check reported ahead on Black Canyon Freeway.
Aha! Speed check. Did you hear that? So apparently there's going to be either a place where they have probably some construction, that's usually what that means, or they have something that has happened that's an incident and there's cops there. That's why you get speed checks. But back to what I was saying. Phoenix is not the worst, but it definitely has its own specific set of issues that I haven't seen anywhere else. So, yeah, that's what I've learned from my time here. I've had a great time, but it's very interesting driving. And with that, we are still not finding it, but we are almost to the construction area. But now we're back to a safe cruising speed, it looks like, of 55 miles an hour. Normally this is a 75 through here, so there has to be something still. I'll update you guys if we figure it out. There's the main construction zone, and you can see it's like a bridge. So I thought maybe it would be that it's down to like one lane. Doesn't look like that's the case. So, who knows? It just says stay in lane. Something else I've learned is there's a lot of looky-loos. And so instead of just going at a safe speed and going around like you're supposed to, they will literally lock it down, glare, and then realize, oh, traffic's behind me, I should probably get going. And then all of a sudden just accelerate rapidly, which leads to a lot of like weirdness, which I think is what happened here. Okay guys, after a lot of driving, we have made it to Prescott, and now it's time for us to go out and explore. So let's take a look around historic Prescott. I'll show you kind of what it looks like, and then I'm going to do a couple of videos in this area of some of the museums and also some of the other things that are in this area. So you'll be seeing those kind of on my channel, and I hope that you enjoy this travel to Prescott with me. Remember guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time, and I'm going to leave you with some epic good times here in Prescott. Till next time, guys. Bye.